Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us here after that fantastic race. And right now we're switching to vodcasting after dark here on BW1 at Randomizer. We are bringing you a vodcasted race of betastrep versus up2ng from the Scorpion group. So this should be really good. We've got two high-level runners here. Joining me in the broadcast booth tonight is Math Girl. Math Girl, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, I am very well. How are you? Looking forward to this I'm sure crazy matchup with Beta Luck and up2ng being, well, up2ng.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a really, really good race. So we do have Math Girl in the booth with us tonight, but also in the booth tonight to as what Zarnax kind of called as in sideline interviews. We've got Betastrep. So Beta will be adding some commentary here and there as we ask some questions. up2ng may or may not join us, but we should be getting underway here shortly.
Yes, although it sounds like they might not be able to hear us real well.
We can still talk.
These are nuts. You might want to check that. Alright, let's see. We've got wings. And some gold. And no game audio.
Well, I don't listen to game audio when I commentate, so that's not a problem. So wings mean that they'll be able to save this key from the treasury. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they go to check the treasury right away, or if they decide to just hold on to the key. Oh, they had gold, so they're going to go back. I'm sorry, they had gold. They're going to go back, they're going to buy keys, and then check the treasury.
Yes, sir. So how much gold are the keys anyway?
Back here they are, I want to say like 83, 85, somewhere in through there. I don't have the exact number absolutely memorized, but it's somewhere in the 80s. So to get a full stash of 6, you need roughly 500 gold, give or take.
Oh, armor! And a refund key and some gold, so we've got a potential gold grind.
All I want to do is zoom, zoom.
Also, it seems we are back with audio, so hello. We've got a quick start with some wings and some gold to go get some extra keys and then open the treasury, which had the magic armor. Erdrick's armor, sorry. And, yeah. I am terrible at caves. Do you have any idea what Beta's in?
This looks to be Mountain Cave. And on the first floor of the Mountain Cave here, Beta does encounter a magician who might go down eventually. It'll be a slap fight, but meanwhile we have up2ng traveling a little bit from the castle and finding a town. All right, I'm not gonna give Brick here any crap. Let's see what they have.
Club, copper sword, broadsword, full plate, small shield.
Given that there's gold in the treasury, I would be awfully tempted to slow grind for that broadsword. I mean, it would only take, especially considering how there's a refund key in the treasury, I might go in and out 3 times just to get that broadsword, as well as stocking up on fairy water like up2ng is doing. But Beta does take down this magician eventually, and will get to level 2.
Okay, 5, 7, 8. And I missed what didn't increase. Probably strength, knowing our luck.
I thought it was agility.
I cannot tell. There we go. Yeah, it was agility.
up2ng gets back attacked by the Wraith Knight and sent back to start. Let's see what up2ng does here. Is he going to do a bit of a grind for that broadsword, or is he just gonna... he might. Let's see. Wraiths with DL2 breath.
Yup. Fire to there. See, you said it only takes 3 in and out.
On average. If you roll super high, given the gold that up2ng still has, no, that's not a possible because I'm pretty sure the highest you can roll is 725 ish. So 3 on average. Actually, no, 3 absolutely because I think the lowest you can roll is 500.
Interesting.
6900, stop spelling outside. Level 3 beta.
That's not much of a level.
But it is. Nice. Hey, it's after dark. We can make that little pun, I suppose. And I think up2ng here is going to, well, was going to go by a broadsword.
Oof. Well, it just needs to go back to the treasury once. I think it's 1600, 1500, something like that, right?
3610 and the spell of heal for betastrep.
Okay.
Beta buying the copper sword, and I would imagine a small shield.
Yep. Alright, and 2ng going back.
Up2ng, gonna buy that broadsword.
Not gonna get the small shield?
I'm assuming he already grabbed it. Because I saw Beta grab it too, and it's not on the tracker. The tracker could just be, having fun, quote unquote, being a pain in the butt. But yeah, I thought they both grabbed. Oh no, Beta I don't think did. Looking at his gold, I think Beta is spending it on herbs. So actually, maybe neither one of them did, and saved their gold for other things. Up2ng might have not bought the small shield and purchased those fairy waters.
Oh, hey, that's a level. Also, I think this was pre-recorded tracking.
Yeah, Angel did practice at some point, so this is pre-recorded tracking.
I just brought up my stat screen, and it was the small shield. Also, the cave under Tantagel was Swamp South, by the way.
Oh, it was Swamp South, it wasn't Mountain. Well, thank you, Beta. I appreciate that. So, actually, while you're here, so now that you're getting sent back to start, we'll see what happens, but did you give any thought to doing what up2ng did and kind of grinding a little bit for the broadsword, or were you just kind of going based off of, you got some fairy waters and you got some decent strength, or are you doing that now?
I was already level 4. I don't remember if I grind broadsword here or not. I don't think that I do, but the main difference is by the time I got to Breckenary, I was already level 4 and I'd already accumulated some strength. So, like with the copper sword, my attack power was pretty much equal to what up2ng's was with the broadsword at like level 1 and 2.
Interesting. Also, Poltergeist apparently had baby breath.
They also had sleep.
Ooh. Yeah, and there we go. And Beta proving, other than his word, that was Swamp South.
And I don't know that we saw the whole top left of that continent.
Well, I mean, everybody's exploration.
Oh, funny it. MP. Oh.
But everybody's exploration kind of differs after a little bit. Some don't explore the first continent fully before going through Swamp Cave, and I can't blame them. Tilo,
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
So, Tilo, we started with, wings, key, of course, and gold in the treasury. Is it just me or seems frozen? And Also, then armor was in the treasury with a gold grind available and a magic key in there. And an herb.
And now Betastrep getting that level 5 with the spell of Hurt and that wonderful bunch of MP. To answer, Aaron, no, there is an issue with the stream right now. It looks like, at least on my end, that the stream has been cleared up.
Same.
So
10 speed, 9 hit points, 5 magic, and sleep.
Now look at this, everything coming quickly here for our runners, right? They got plenty of, well, I shouldn't say plenty, but they have the Hurt spell, they have Erdrick's Armor, they've got a bunch of spells. So right now, what they need are the mores, right? They need heal more, hurt more to really kind of kick the seed into high gear. But, you know, so far, this is a really good start for both of our runners here.
Indeed. Yeah, so already higher agility than I've seen in some seeds until, like, Sharlock. Oh,
there we go. And Beta getting the gold man kill here for that 650 gold. That's really nice to have at the beginning here. I would imagine maybe doing that maybe for a broadsword. But 8 experience here, getting to level 6.
Yep. Alright.
This
Yeah,
is... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna also mention for Tilo and anybody else who's just come in that he also had Breckenary with a broadsword and a small shield nearby.
But it looks like both of our runners right now have settled on a really nice little area to grind here. Beta is getting Warlocks and Wolves, and up to NG looks to be getting Druids and Warlocks. So this is a really nice area to grind up until level 7 or 8 here for both of our runners. And we certainly know from previous races and various other commentary, Beta does tend to like to stretch his legs a little bit more than up to NG does, who that very much prefers a more grind until the seed is certainly open for you strategy. So 2 completely different strategies here, and let's see how it goes. Oh, there's Hurtmore. There's Hurtmore at level 7.
Oh, this is crazy. I mean, not much in the way of stats for that one, it doesn't look like, but...
And we do have Druid Lords with a Dragon Lord 2 Breath, which, I mean, for now is a problem, but, pretty soon it's not going to be a problem, especially for Beta. They go down to 1 hurt more very easily. So, as long as they don't back attack you, 1 hurt more will take out those Druid Lords really quick.
Also, I do believe that's the southern part of the map. There.
Zarnak saying in chat that his stream dropped 96 frames. Really? 96, huh? That's what that was? 96 frames, huh?
Yeah. Maybe 96 frames at 1 frame per second.
Oh, and an Armored Knight takes up to NG out and back to the start. Meanwhile, we do have Beta taking on another wolf here.
Alright. Man, it seems like easy mode when you get armor right off the bat.
Yeah, early armor and early hurt more really makes a seed. Yeah, as long as the enemies aren't terrible, right? Early armor, early hurt more really does make a seed go that much more quickly. Now, of course, this isn't to say it's always easy, right? Because you might hit a zone where there's a lot of enemies that aren't susceptible to hurt more. Maybe you get a Charlotte zone with a bunch of golems and red dragons.
I literally rolled a seed once that comfortable go mode would have been level 28.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, early hurt more and early armor make a seed much more manageable, if not easy, put it that way. But level 8 here for up to NG, 4-4, was that heal more already? Oh my goodness.
Yup. Also, for chat, dog sprite, I believe, is called Tav.
It is Tav, the dog from Chapter 3 of Dragon Warrior 4. And betastrep finding Hawksness, but noping out of Hawksness. I think he's Alright, so we have betastrep here, so did you just want to check out this cave first and then go back into Hawksness and check the tile with... Oh, you don't have Hurtmore, never mind. Forget nope, never mind, you don't have Hurtmore yet.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on the fact that the seed had early armor and relatively early heal more, hurt more. I generally don't like that as a runner because whenever you get early armor, which is basically free, it really devalues exploration, which I feel like is one of my advantages as a runner.
Zarnax, whatever you're doing, that hurts.
We're getting the strobe effect again.
And now I can't see it at all. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So,
Zarnax, do you need me to take over Restream?
Beta, just kind of going back to the point here you were making. I guess... yeah, I see your point, right? Because... all this early stuff, it does devalue early exploration, that's for sure, and certainly turns it into almost, not all the time, but certainly can turn it into who finds what first. Right? I guess that's kind of the point you're kind of getting at there?
Partly that, partly the issue in this case, specifically my opponent, up2ng, who's one of the most efficient grinders in the community, and I'm one of the most efficient exploration players in the community, so when you see something that tilts it one way or the other early on, it's pretty rough. Like, I knew when we had the early armor that I was immediately at somewhat of a disadvantage, and the other issue is when you get early hurt more, early heal more, it adds a lot of volatility to the seed, where it's not just finding locations first, it's also finding the best grinds first. So like finding Axonite zones that are near towns and things like that, and just being able to sit in them and just rapidly gain levels, it kind of trivializes a lot of things.
That makes sense. It really does.
Yeah, and, for some people that trivialization is fun. I mean, for others, it is annoying, right? Because, I mean...
Oh, another level here. Sorry.
No.
18, 18, 10, 7, repel. Oh my goodness.
That's a level.
That's a big level.
Yeah, and it does look like there's a town fairly close here to Hawksness, so it wouldn't surprise me. Now, Beta's here. It wouldn't surprise me if Beta goes up to grind some more. I mean, I'm sure if up2ng had seen Hawksness, that'd be what he would be doing. By the way, I'm not sure if this was actually part of it or not, but there was nothing on the Hawksness tile. So that was a zonk, but having an armored knight there with stop spell, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Plus we've got, we've got 5 hurt more, so you kind of want a little more, not and 75 attack power, I don't know. What's that calculated again?
Attack power?
how much damage you do to an enemy?
So the formula is you take their defense, you subtract their defense from your attack power, whichever's higher, and then you divide by 2 and divide by 2 to get your range. So the reason why the Dragon Lord 2 was so easy to do is because his defense power is 100, right? So I don't know, like, for example, with this Green Dragon or the Stone Man here, I don't know their defense power off the top of my head. But, you know, you would take the 75 on up2ng's side minus whatever the defense power of a Green Dragon is, divide that by 2 to get the maximum of your range, and then divide that by 2 again to get the minimum of your range.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know if I don't know what armored knights their defense is.
Nope, the only one I know defense off the top of my head is Dragon Lord 2, because that's a nice easy round 100. Beyond that, I don't have that. I don't have any of those numbers memorized. But we do have Beta here going for a grind.
The only thing working against me here in this grind is if you look at the MP pool, it's just 35, which means it's a relatively short grind. And also, as far as enemy defense, you just take their agility and divide by 2. So like the well-known agility would be like 90 for Red Dragon, so their defense is 45, and 86 for Armored Knights, so their defense is 43. Stonemen, their agility is just 40, so their defense is 20.
Oh, well, that's a nice easy way to think about it too.
And then the other Sharlock enemies, like, say, Star Wyverns, Green Dragons, Werewolves, I just estimate their defense to be somewhere around 40.
Do you just, like, have all of these memorized?
Well, I ran the vanilla game quite a bit, so, like, the base stats of monsters are pretty well committed to memory at this point. I mean, the randomizer did change, like, their HP ranges a bit, but their strength and their agility are fixed to vanilla values.
That seems like something that should get changed. Oh my! Oh my!
That level 10 is something else. And by the way, we do have up2ng grinding on a Green Dragon here on the spike tile of the swamp. So, geez, that level 10 was fantastic. And to answer Taylor's... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, was that all double-digit gains?
Yep, all double-digit gains, and there were a couple of 20-plus gains there, too. I believe the HP and MP were both double-digit, or over 20. But to answer Taylor's question in chat, wonder what % chance that stop spell is, it sure looked to me like a 50% chance between stop spell and attack, but, you know, without, you know, seeing the numbers, it looked like a 50%er to me. Beta finding this Green Dragon, looks like he's going to do a little bit of grinding here. Probably just to get to level 10, which we know is absolutely amazing. And then we'll see if he rescues the princess early, like up2ng does, or, you know, just moseys on out.
12, 23, and 33 was that, I think?
Yep.
You know, I have to ask, what is... I got a couple questions. What is the highest gain you can get in a single level possible in the randomizer? What's the highest anybody's seen on a single stat?
We have seen a stat gain in the 70s before, so I don't remember if it's on the current version or not where that happened, but it was either this version or the previous version where we saw a gain in the 70s.
Yeah, I think it was a 78, and I'm pretty sure I committed that one to memory, just, you know, look at my username. But I'm pretty sure it was a 78 to HP, and it was... I forget where in the table it fell, but it was a 78 to HP.
Oh, wow. Also, Death Necklace there in the Tablet Cave. What's the highest it can roll? Or is there a highest?
So I'm pretty sure McGrew did some testing in beta. I think you can actually overflow it. if the circumstances are right. I'm pretty sure McGrew kind of tested that, didn't he?
I think so. And I don't know if you can do that anymore. I hope that that issue got fixed. But as far as a cap is concerned, I believe it would be whatever the attribute overall cap is, and then that would technically be the cap in gains minus whatever the start value is. Right. Because then technically every other level could just give you zeros of that stat. And I also would like to point out that it's kind of cool that both up2ng and I have done essentially the same strategies at different points. Like, I picked up the broadsword a little bit differently than he did, and I also preemptively rescued Gwaelin after seeing that green dragon grind, and I did an axe knight grind in Hawksness earlier, which he is now on.
Yeah, you kind of beat me to it that, 25 minutes into the seed, you two have pretty much more or less done the same thing, just in a very different order. I think the only advantage, Beta, you've seen a little bit more of the Swamp Continent than up2ng has, but it is not appreciable that much. So, yeah, I mean, after 25 minutes, you guys are essentially tied at this point. So, and that's great. A Zoom seed like this, and the two of you basically just kind of trading off what you've been doing is great.
Another level, you got 3, 5, 1, 5. That is pitiful compared to what we've been getting the past couple levels.
Well, I mean, it all averages out. So you get a couple of levels back to back like you just got, and you knew that one bunk level was going to come sooner or later. And there's probably more along those lines to come.
I mean, we've already got green agility and orange MP.
Yeah, and that agility is really big right now, especially considering how both of our runners have Erdrick's armor and small shields. Although it's not on the tracker.
Let's see what's here in Rim, because we don't really need the keys. Scale, useless Rim will dart today.
Go ahead.
Unless there's like a silver shield or something.
Right, and there's a large shield, so that's probably, I don't think, Breck certainly didn't have a silver shield, so that's probably the best they're going to do, is that large shield. But one real big thing about having this high agility this early, combined with Erdrick's armor and a large shield in this case, you can make so much headway on the overworld by mapping and doing your exploration, because you're going to repel so much stuff.
4, 8, 9, I think that said. It kind of glitched out there.
Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, on exploration on the overworld, it's going to be super fast due to them repelling a whole lot of the riffraff at this point.
This is a part of the seed where I feel like I'm losing ground. Like, obviously, we race blind, we don't know what's happening with the other runner, but in this type of seed, I feel like I'm losing ground because I'm doing so much exploration. I have repel up to get rid of the trash enemies, and I'm not seeing anything that I can fight while I'm doing all this walking. And I'm not finding anything. Like, I found Rimmeldar, but thanks to the wings, we already had keys from the start. So that's another example of devalued exploration. Like, when you can hold on to keys at the start, it's another thing you don't have to find on the overworld.
Right, and I think, kind of an unfortunate bit, kind of dovetailing on what you're going with here, this map looks, it's expansive yet concentrated. If you kind of get what I'm getting at, there's a lot of areas of nothing, and then there's a couple of areas where there's a bunch of stuff. So I think it just comes down to who finds the right thing first at this point.
Yeah, exploration routing is a very big deal in a lot of the races that we do. So it's like, given what our stats are, like we have high agility, we have heal more and hurt more, high defense, reasonably high attack power. Like, my instinct tells me I should explore, find the items, and then switch over to end game grind and go for it that way. Like, that's my standard preference. As soon as I'm survivable, I want to find everything and then go to an end game grind as quickly as I can. And in this seed, I'm just running around finding a whole lot of nothing, and this is the time in the seed where I'm starting to get worried, because I know the Axe Knights in Hawksness. I know that my opponent is probably sitting there for an extended period of time just leveling, and I'm running around not finding anything at all.
Yeah, although you gotta consider, if you're having trouble, chances are your opponent might be too. That is always something to keep in mind, is that you've got the same seed, so yeah, when things are spread out, it's gonna be bad for both. So it kinda, hey, Sherlock!
But is it accessible? Yeah, it looks like it is.
And we got Caitlin.
So I would imagine
Probably
that it's going to check the coordinates pretty quick, I would imagine.
Yeah, I imagine we got almost. Hey, Silver Shield. If we want it, it's there.
Yep. So given that there's not, we haven't seen Mountain Cave or the Grave of Garen yet, so it'll be interesting to see if up2ng does a gold grind for the Silver Shield. Because that Silver Shield right now, that would give an extra, 16 to defense power, and all of a sudden you're defense breaking quite a number of things in Sherlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, at level 10, a Silver Shield would bump my defense up to 86, and I'd already be repelling Star Wyverns and Werewolves to go with Wizards, which actually, in this phase of the seed, would be kind of counterproductive, since you want to see a couple of those things for hurt more purposes.
16 south, 34 east. Sorry. That seems countable, though.
Is it, though? If I remember, there isn't a whole... No, I mean, if I remember, there isn't a whole lot to the east here? Or maybe I'm thinking of another seed.
It's on the way to Rimmildar, actually.
Okay.
So it's definitely easily countable, with or without the princess. Like, I remembered seeing those coordinates, and I'm just like, ugh, I got Gwaelin, ugh.
Vanilla stones. That's a thing. Alright, let's see what's down here. A little bit of winding around. Both of you kinda right here in the same area near Sherlock.
So, wait. Beta approached it from the bottom, and up2ng approached it from the top. Alright, this map is making my head hurt.
This is why I don't bother trying to memorize the map when I am commentating. Would be very nice if someday we get it built into the tracker that we can pull up the map page and just see the map. Z, are you talking? You're lighting up, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, I'm just applying pressure to my control button, trying to think of something to say, and nothing's coming out.
Basically, I'm about to see what up2ng just saw, and
yeah.
you can see his experience lead is sitting at around 1200, which is like 9 Axe Knights. So that was the benefit of his Hawksness dedicated grind with more MP than when I was over there. But again, I'm banking on my approach to the seed leading me to everything before he gets it, and then I get to the end game grind before he does, and that I defeat enough things while I'm looking for stuff to have a deeper pool when I go to that end game grind. Like, that's the whole basis of my strategy, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, so again, yeah, like you said, other than the experience difference, I mean, you guys are pretty much, again, you're approaching things from different angles, but you've seen pretty much the exact same stuff at this point. Yeah, because there's up to NG exploring what you kind of just did. So
Yeah, and we had up2ng and I played each other in, I think it was the first round of the Swiss a couple years ago or something like that. And it was another seed where we basically took polar opposite approaches to it, and he beat me by like 30 seconds or something like that.
Wow.
yeah, and that is one of the really nice things about this randomizer, and especially with the randomized maps, is you can very often have races and seeds and races and tournaments that you can take completely different directions and still end up at the same place at the same time. I'm pretty sure I just had a race like that against Ursine, not just last week, I think, where she took one path, I took another path, and we still wound up just about the same place at the same time. So.
Probably the craziest thing I can ever remember seeing, we had just like an RNG fest seed where skill almost didn't matter, and 2 runners ended up finishing within a minute of each other at like 3 hours and change.
Yeah, and those certainly do happen. And sometimes you get those super jet seeds, like with some of the
Garenham.
And Silver Harp on the overworld for a betastrep. So right now, beta just needs the token to basically hold on. Have we seen the harp trade-in cave? I don't know if we have.
I haven't seen it. I may have missed it. We've had some glitching out, but I don't think so.
I think up2ng saw it on his way to Garenham. I have my map from the seed right in front of me, and the staff cave is just west of Garenham, so I think he just dipped into it and didn't have the harp.
Okay. So that's actually a nice little advantage for you, right? Is that you're not going to have to do the double back to that harp trade-in cave, whereas up2ng probably will have to do that double back, which certainly saves you time as opposed to how he's doing it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I counted the coordinates as soon as I went back to start, is because I knew there's at least a fair possibility that the coordinates would be the harp or the token, and I'm always thinking about routing as far as doing the trade-ins, because one of the worst feelings in this game is when you see the staff cave far from home and you have to double back.
Yep, I absolutely agree with you, and you and I share a very similar thought there. Is you do want to try to minimize any backtracking you have to do. So if you know something's on the overworld, it certainly behooves you to just go get it. So this way, if and when you run into the harp cave in the middle of nowhere, you don't have to go back to it.
Alright, last chest. Ring.
Boy, that was a that was a grave. That was I believe that wasn't Garen's grave. I believe that was Garen's junk pile.
Oh, isn't that Mountain Cave?
Oh no, yeah. Well, that was Mountain Cave. Fine. Either way, fine. The Mountain Cave where everybody just threw their trash out. I mean, that was not a good Mountain Cave at all.
Yeah, it's info and it's attack power, so but it's certainly not what you were looking for.
I find it truly hilarious that in as sprawling a map as this is, we end up clearing Garenham and Mountain like a minute apart. And I didn't see the staff cave coming to Garenham, since when I explore, I typically follow coast, which is a pretty standard thing that people do. And I followed the coast up from the south, so I have yet to see the staff cave.
And hopefully you don't take a death here, and when you leave Garen, hopefully you go west and see the staff cave. But yeah, so again, and again, this goes back to the whole different pathing, right? I mean, you approached Garenham from the bottom, and up to NG approached it from the west. So, I mean, sometimes just that one screen makes a big difference as to what you see versus what you don't see.
Exactly, and there's up2ng walking the coordinates. So yeah, we're doing everything just like a little bit out of phase with each other, but we're doing it like really close to each other, which is pretty amusing.
And you had mentioned, I don't know, probably about 5 or 10 minutes ago, that the experience gap was about 1,200. Well, now you have it narrowed down to 1,000, and it's pretty consistently kind of just slowly but steadily going down from that peak of about 1,300.
Yeah, and that's just a function of what zones we happen to be traveling through when we're doing our exploration. Like, if I'm seeing more targets, I can gain ground on him. And if he's walking through a zone where he's repelling literally everything, then yeah. And here I am finding the staff cave, so yay.
Yep. So there's... We still don't know where Token is. I suppose it could be at Cole. Grave, I think, is still outstanding. What else are we missing?
We've seen Mountain Cave, we've seen Ermaldare, we've seen Hawk's Nest, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the Vanilla Stones Cave, which ironically enough had the stones. Yeah, I think the token either has to be in Cole or it has to be in the Grave, I think.
Yeah, because we also saw Tablet Cave. I can't think of anything else that has chests or search spots left, because we've already searched the coordinates for the harp, and Nox says didn't have anything, so...
Alright, so Beta's cast of return certainly leads us to believe that what we're looking for, Cole and the Grave of Garen, are probably on the Swamp Continent, assuming it's 2 continents, which you can never exactly be sure of, but we say that until it's proven otherwise.
There's another level. Let's see. 8, 2, 12, 1. Hey, I mean, that's respectable hit points gain. Everything except strength and attack powers in the green or the orange already.
Yeah, I mean, we could be looking at... level 14 could even give you the stats to be in go mode. Now, probably it's like level 15 or 16. But, I mean, they are very quickly approaching the raw stats needed to take on the Dragon Lord.
So that's cute. Red dragon with baby breasts.
Oh, you love to see that. Man, those are fantastic to see. Then you can just sit there and wail on them all day.
Are red dragons the ones that have baby breasts in vanilla?
Yes.
So the vanilla game actually does you a courtesy.
They also have sleep in vanilla, which is the opposite of a courtesy.
Yeah.
I mean, stop spell them.
Well, I think vanilla, isn't there stop spell resistance pretty high in vanilla?
Yeah, I believe it's either 7 out of 16 or 9 out of 16. And the issue with red dragons in vanilla is they're only in the bottom of Sharlock. And if you're doing a no-minute speedrun, you're going for game at level 18, and you cannot afford to lose any MP on the entire dive, or you are a very, very, very significant underdog against the Dragon Lord.
So you have a decent chance of losing your run to a red dragon. Is that what I'm hearing?
I've lost many runs to red dragons and armored knights in the bottom of Sharlock.
And the no-minute speedrun, isn't that... That's like hours long, isn't it? Like 5 hours long?
If you're having a really good run, you're diving Sharlock right after the 5:20, 5:10,
Right.
5:20 into the game.
Oh, that's... God, and I thought Fairy Hover was soul crushing. But then I guess you don't have like a 99.5% chance of losing your run in Sherlock. So
I think it's about 50-50 to lose a run in Sherlock. The problem is, even if you get to the Dragon Lord, you're only like about 30% to beat him at level 18.
And I'm assuming that's with a strength
Okay.
HP build, I would imagine.
token in the top of the grave in the middle chest.
Yeah, it's a strength HP build because you have to manufacture doubles.
All right, so Beta certainly diving grave here. Right here, you might as well. The zones here in Garenham, or the grave of Garen, certainly don't look terrible. So you absolutely dive here, and this will tell us. Well, I guess we still have cold yet.
Oh, we found token.
Right, but
And
right now Beta's going for the sword. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, kind of got it, right? And our attack power's still not looking so hot.
Yeah,
Here I'm super thrilled to miss a hurt more against an armored knight.
yeah, I can imagine that 1 out of 16 was a really fun say. Oh, and there's coal. Let's see what's in coal.
Nothing. You got nothing. It's in the grave, or it's in Sherlock.
Yeah, and the only other thing we haven't seen is the flute. So, and the flute really doesn't much matter in this case. But yeah, we have up2ng. That's the jerk. Yep. So, and then he's gonna make his way into Mountain Cave or Grave right behind Betastrep, as they've been doing all seed, is just kind of trading back and forth.
Got a Star Wyvern, and down it goes. About to check this chest after we get the stats again for 13. 8-2, 14-1 for Beta. Some gold. Down to one chest left, and
Still holding steady at about 1,000 experience behind up2ng too.
Mm-hmm. And in this particular seed, right, the sword in Sherlock doesn't really. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's annoying to see, and it's even more annoying if it happens to show up at its vanilla location. But it's not really that terrible in this particular seed, because once you get to Sherlock, you're going to be running from everything anyways. You're not going to be swinging at things. And you know your grind is a hurt more grind, right? Whether or not you do the hurt mooring on the Axe Knights in Hawksness, or you do it on the Green Dragons in the Swamp Cave. So in this particular instance, yeah, sword in Sherlock is annoying, but it's not a super time killer or anything. You can certainly do it on one dive. Get the sword and go.
I mean, in before vanilla sword.
Even still, it's just a little more annoying. It's not a little more annoying, a little more time wasting, but maybe it's right here. Yeah, of course.
Fairy water. It's in Sherlock along with the flute.
So I would imagine we're going to see Beta here just go right up to the jerk, trade in his stuff for the rainbow drop, and I would imagine pretty quickly thereafter go a little off to the east and find coal.
I had a mini freak out there, knowing I was walking to the jerk cave, and I got double dodged by a Druid Lord, which has DL2.
I was just about to comment on that your heart had been racing there just a little bit.
Alright, there's the rainbow drop.
And any screen now, Beta's going to see coal and really have his heart sink, I would think. Nope, wait.
So, now that we know for a fact, flute and sword are going to be in Sherlock. Go ahead and put your guesses in for the pyramid game versus judge's table. I'm gonna guess judge's table for sword and 200 chess for flute.
I'm thinking the 250 for the sword. I'm thinking that this is going to be nice and easy on our runners. And there we have betastrep finding coal. So you're going to search this tile spot here, Beta, and come up empty. So, what are your thoughts with the sword in Sherlock at this point? You're just kind of like, meh, whatever, I would imagine at this point.
Yeah, I'm just stay at the inn, get to grinding, and then as soon as go stats are achieved, just go for it. But one of the interesting aspects of this phase of the seed is that my resources were pretty low as I was diving through graves. So once I exited grave, I had no MP left. I still hadn't found coal. I knew it had to be somewhere over there due to the mapping. And I had to run from a lot of things that I would have hurt more if I had the resources. And that allowed up2ng to push his experience lead up to, looks like 1600-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, he widened the lead by like 4 Axe Knights while I was trying to get to coal.
Is that right? Axe Knights had DL2 breath.
Oh,
I think I just saw the Axe Knight with DL2 breath on up2ng side.
that's a thing if that's true. Also, we don't have, unless 15 or 16 brings some serious HP, we're not looking real good.
Well, it depends, right? So right now, so we need more stats, period, right? The question, it doesn't really matter where the stats come, right? You need a little more strength. But they have the death necklace, right? So if a big HP gain comes, they're in go mode. If a big MP gain comes with HP, they're in go mode. I mean, if they get some gains in 1 or 2 different stats, they're okay. So it's possible 15 is go mode, but we'll see.
I mean, the biggest thing is I think somebody said 129 is the magic number for death necklace HP.
Yeah.
Anything lower than that, it's not a pretty sight.
Now this is interesting. The 2 different grind spots. It looks like up2ng is going to go down to the Swamp Cave to grind on the greens, whereas Beta is grinding on the Axe Knights here. I think I like Beta's grind a little better, because Axe Knights have a higher percentage to go down to 1 hurt more. Now, that said, where's up2ng going? What?
It's routing because, so remember when we talked about the routing before when I had the harp to turn in when I saw the staff cave? Now he's doing the homework. He just did his harp trade in. He's walking to Dirt Cave, which is the other side of Swamp Cave. And notice what's happening with the XP gap here.
It is shrinking fast.
It's coming together again.
I forgot that up2ng, because I'm so used to you two being lockstep in this seed, right? I had completely forgotten that he had, there's the DL2 breath. But I had completely forgotten that he hadn't gotten the drop.
So, how much XP for level 15?
7,500.
Alright. There's the red dragon down. He's pretty close to level 15. What's a 1 in 64 chance?
I'm imagining a dodge of some sort.
Don't those max at 1 out of 16?
Stoneman dodge is 1 in 64, if that's what the reference is. And swinging at an Axe Knight, they have a 1 in 64 dodge rate as well.
Hmm.
All right, so it looks like up2ng is getting on the grind now. I mean, he's only going to need like 3 Axe Knights here. So there's about 1,000 experience difference, and that's pretty much where it's been all seed between the two runners here.
Yep. But we're gonna be finding out real soon what level 15 brings us. I'm not calling nothing Burger. We gotta go 16 or higher.
Let's see. I mean, they don't need much to
Alright,
make this go mode.
10, 3, 6, 2.
I think that's go.
How much attack power does the sword add over broadsword?
20.
20. Right, so the attack power
Yeah.
is 136, right? Subtract 136, divide by 2, 18. So they're doing 9 to 18, right? 9 to 18 is an average of 13 and a half. So you need, what, 12 swings, give or take, 12 swings-ish, and they have 12 Fillmores. I mean, the math, it makes sense. Yeah, 15 is go.
On some fairy water.
up2ng dipping into Cantlin here. I would imagine you're going to pick up some fairy water so he can repel some of these enemies. And go to
Betastrep right behind. This could come down to somebody gambling judge's table and it has the sword.
I mean, but, that said, the runners, up2ng, if he gets down there with full resources, is he a favorite? Yes, he's a favorite. But he's not such an overwhelming favorite that, low rolls could certainly still do him in here. So, I mean, up2ng could theoretically fail this dive through no fault of his own.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte is a thing.
Oh, Zarnax also bringing up another really good point here, that look at the two, like up2ng has a strength agility build, whereas betastrep goes strength HP. And Zarnax is going to repel more enemies in Charlotte, specifically the werewolves and the star wyverns, because of the extra agility. And also keep in mind that the defense power of 86, right, that is the quote-unquote magic number for defense power, because now Dragon Lord 2's attack will do no more than 48 damage, which is no more than his breath does. So if you have defense power anywhere south, 85 or lower, Dragon Lord can actually attack for more than he can breath for. But 86 and higher, you max at 48 damage. So Beta gonna get his level 15 here. Yeah, and he doesn't even need to look. He knows it's go time. Yeah, that 10 power there at level 15 really was a clue. But boy, look how smooth up2ng's dive is. There's got to be a lot of those weak enemies in Charlock. Look at that.
And again, it's just one of those random things where it's like the agility and defense just happen to land in the sweet spot where he gets to clear out multiple enemies that I don't, which is just blind luck. And that's just how this plays out. I mean, it could have easily been a seed where we end up in a scenario where the death necklace becomes essential and he has to do an extra level at the end. So it's just
There's the
how
sword.
it goes.
Yep, there's the sword and the $200 chest. So now up to NG is just booking it right to the Dragon Lord. This was a fast scene. I mean, up to NG, he's not going to sub hours, but it's just going to be barely, assuming he beats the Dragon Lord here. This is just bare. This is like a 101, 102 maybe. And Beta, you're not, again, assuming up to NG is successful here, you're not far behind. I mean, you're probably getting, a 105 at this point. So this is a fast scene.
And there's one of those werewolf encounters, and there's another one.
Yeah, and I think that, not only were you not repelling them, but, you also had, the good old Dragon Warrior Randomizer encounter luck where, you get like 3 steps in a row of encounters. Yeah, Stone Oh, go ahead.
Every encounter you do that you first turn run is worth about 5 seconds. So if I pick up an extra 10 werewolves, wizards, that sort of thing, like I'm just gonna basically give away almost a full minute on the dive because of it.
Right. Meanwhile, we have up to NG with the 1 out of 16 sleep fail on the Stone Man. Good thing the Stone Man only has punch and DL1 breath. Well, not DL1, but baby breath.
Yep. And there's Dragon Lord fight.
No need for the death necklace here.
We certainly don't want to. I don't know what it'd drop you to, but...
Oh, and we'll get at least an opening double here. Just going to be an opening double, but I would imagine that at some point up to NG is going to manufacture another double. So this is, this is just down to a miss menu at this point.
So, Death Necklace would drop you to 81, just for fun fact, at 108 HP.
Yeah, and that would be no bueno. 81 HP is no good fighting Dragon Lord 2.
Nope.
Yeah, but I gotta say that even, for Beta's rather not so great luck on the first floor, Betastrep's dive has been pretty smooth too. Down to the basement here, and now of course I say that and I put a curse on the run, and now he's going to get an encounter every 3rd step.
He's still not out of this. If this Dragon Lord fight fails,
and look at the encounters that Beta is getting right here, right? He's getting the Star Wyverns and he's getting the werewolves that up to NG repel. Ugh.
Up. It's the thing. Alright, there's your sword. I'm gonna check the other 2 chests. Oh, come on. Rude. Hey, Flute was on the judges table.
I think so, Math Girl, I think you had that exactly reversed then.
I did.
Yep. And we do have up to NG taking out Dragon Lord 2 here, so he's going to finish right around 102. The official time will probably pop up shortly.
Yep. Alright, break out your GGs. Of course, got the cutscene with Gwaylon. What's the yes or no to with the Gwaylon cutscene?
Gwaylon asks, can she come with the hero on his journey?
What if you say no?
I don't know. Looks like we're also joined in the booth by up to NG. Up to NG, well played. I mean, I don't know how much of this podcast you were able to catch, but man, you and Beta were just so. I mean, you took different paths to get to where you guys were going, but you guys were right with each other the entire race. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks. That was quite a race. Definitely GG to Betastrep. I think he played an excellent race. I, uh, I pretty much agree with everything he said throughout the broadcast. I did manage to catch it. Um, so, it, and to extend on, I guess, what he was mentioning before about the, the seed not necessarily favoring exploration. I think another big thing that happened is that I saw a Breckenary like in the first 30 seconds. So I really think that the early broadsword was helpful by a minute or two. It just helped me get to the Hurtmore level a minute or two faster, and it just seems like that everything else was kind of even all the way throughout. So just a little bit of early exploration luck for me, and it just led to be able to settle in on grinding a little bit faster. But you played a great race, and it was fun to watch it back with you guys. It was good.
Yep. Meanwhile, Betastrep's also on the up2.
The other thing about that, how you mentioned about the exploration as well, is he definitely draws maps and keeps track of things better than I do, and so one of the things that can happen to me occasionally is that depending on the seed, it could be a map where I can get a little bit lost or whatever and lose a little bit of time that way. And this map, it just worked out that that just didn't happen to me this time. I pretty much was able to find things without doubling back too much, and I had to run back and forth for the trading caves at the end, but I had a good idea where those were, so didn't lose too much time with extra walking around. So just so happened to be a map that that was good for me in this one.
I think by my math, I probably saw 10 or 11 Star Wyverns and Werewolves and Charlock. So even if I ran first turn on all of them, which I did not, that's like 55 seconds versus your build. And I got run blocked by several of them, so it's probably closer to like a minute 20 time loss, in addition to some resources, because I was taking like 20 damage or something like that every time they swung at me. So it's the little things in a seed like this. This is basically a jet seed, and like we went back and forth in the race room about this too, and it's just like every little usually inconsequential decision in a jet seed can be magnified, where it's just like you see Breckenary before I do, you get a broadsword before I do, you go through that middle tier of the seed swinging at things faster than I do. It's like all those little things add up, and then before you know it, you're like 4 minutes behind for no apparent reason.
Right, yeah.
Also,
exactly. You're not doing anything wrong or anything. It just, all of a sudden you compare the two side by side, and it's weird where that comes from sometimes. Also, Breckenary happened to have the fairy water shop. I bought 8 fairy waters while I was there, and I think that I don't think we learned repel until level 8 or 9, so there may have been a slight advantage on that as well. So it just because I happened to be there right in the first minute, so it's weird the things that can happen in a race.
Yeah, and I pushed through Swamp Cave like right away because it's one of the things I like to do as an exploration first player. It's like if I push through Swamp Cave and it backs into Garenham, you have 3 free chests. Maybe the sword is sitting there or something like that. It's just like you never know, and the probability of it backing into Garenham, I feel like it's high enough to justify that push.
Yeah, definitely. I forget how that worked out, but I think I just didn't. I forget what happened with the key situation, but I just didn't go that direction to open the key to go into the basement for a little while longer. And yeah, that can certainly bite when when there's just something in the basement and the other runner gets it. So yeah, it's there is a lot of luck involved with just the directions that people travel in the seed. And it was kind of funny, like you guys mentioned a few times, how we kind of went in wildly different directions and then we converge back to the same place, and then we go off again, which that's what's fun about these broadcasts, to see that happen side by side.
We had the same number of ambushes and bonks. 15 and 29.
Oh, that's
That's
hilarious.
hysterical.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
that couldn't be possible. But hey, that's ridiculous.
Man, I died more than you. That's not fair. Well, appreciate you guys putting together the vodcast. I know it's a lot of extra work to run these after the fact. But yeah, the more of these we can do, the better. I think it's just definitely, for me, this is the most fun part of the tournament. Is to be able to see everything all in one place, where you can really get a sense for alternate ways that the seed could have gone, if you were in the other player's shoes, and you get to see it, you get the commentary, and that's what makes it fun.
Yep. So I think it's about time we wrap up here.
Indeed, but don't go too far, because in 4 short hours, Striker Warrior Randomizer will be back with a race at 5 o'clock Eastern this morning. So 4 short hours, we're going to have Angel versus, I believe it's Myplit. So don't go too
Versus
far.
who?
Myplit, or I think that's how you pronounce it. I think something like that.
All right. I will not be seeing you for that race. I probably won't see you till tomorrow night. Have a great night, all. I'll post the links in chat. We will see you next time.
Oh, and there's Myplit in chat. Look at that. And we're going to go raid Mr. Holmes. We're going to go say hi to Mr. Holmes, who's doing some Kaiser Land. So, see you back here in 4 short hours for Angel FM versus Myplit. Thank you to Zarnax for doing the restream of this, and thanks to Beta for being in the booth with us most of the race. That was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yep. See ya.